Good evening, and welcome to the launch of Planned Parenthood's A Time to Build capital campaign. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones. And now, here to start our program is the Ithaca Gay Men's Chorus.
525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife, in 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 journeys to land. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure life, a woman or a man? In truth that she learned, or in times that she cried, in bridges he burned, or the way that she died. It's time now to sing out, though the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember, a year in the life of friends. Remember love. Love. Remember love. Love. Remember love. Love. Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. Seasons of Seasons of love.
How do you measure a year? In daylight, in sunsets, in midnight, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. 525,600 minutes.
Seasons of love.
Measure a year in life. How about
Love.
remember love?
Love.
Remember love?
Love. Measuring
I never thought much about any of this stuff until it was about me. I was late, like period late, not like, oh, traffic was so bad late. I was pregnant, and I knew I needed to do something, and I couldn't talk to my mom because she'd be all, I told you this could happen, and she did, and then it did happen. So. And knowing where to go for help is just the start. I mean, when I walked up those steps at Planned Parenthood, I was scared and totally freaked out. But once I was there, they were great. They listened, and they were a shoulder to cry on, and they helped me make the right decision for me. And now I know a lot more about how to take care of myself. Those old steps at Planned Parenthood led me to a good place. But now, it's a time to build.
So my family never really talks about how my grandma or Aunt Mary died. We just don't talk that way. But I knew it had something to do with cancer. So when I went for my PAP and it came back with problems, I was so completely freaked out and worried I didn't have anyone to talk to, except the people at Planned Parenthood. They told me I needed another test, colposcopy. I didn't even know what that was. When I told my mom, she said, "Oh, I wish Aunt Mary had done that." Turns out I don't have cancer, but I know now to be diligent about wellness visits and not to be afraid. I was so lucky to have the people at Planned Parenthood help me through. They totally got me to breathe. And now it's time to build.
Okay, so I know who I am. That was pretty clear from about 5th grade for me, but telling my parents, telling anyone, what if they find out at school? I've seen what they do to you if they think you're different. The only place I can be me is at youth group at Planned Parenthood. It's like the one time every week I get to just breathe. Yeah. And now it's a time to build.
Let's all welcome Planned Parenthood Board Chair Steve Ruoff and Planned Parenthood Board Treasurer Annie Wall.
Welcome. I'm so pleased to see so many Planned Parenthood supporters here tonight to celebrate this exciting milestone in Planned Parenthood history, the launch of our campaign, A Time to Build. I'd like to extend a special welcome to the Planned Parenthood board and staff who are here tonight. Thank you for the good work that you do always.
Well, I wish I could sing my remarks, but I'll read them instead. This evening's celebration has been a long time in the making. Planned Parenthood of the Southern Finger Lakes has been providing women and men in our region with exceptional health care services and honest, accurate education for the past 45 years. Oops, still me. It's pretty amazing. And we've been doing it under pretty difficult circumstances. Except for renovations to our Elmira Health Center back in 2008, it has been 30 years since major investments have been made in our facilities. Our centers are overcrowded, aging, and expensive to maintain, which impacts the quality of care we can provide today and limits our ability to grow in the future.
In 2010, in response to these challenges, the Planned Parenthood of the Southern Finger Lakes Board of Directors mapped out a long-term facilities plan designed to enable us to provide quality care in every community we serve for at least the next 20 years. This exciting plan had 4 key components: renovation of the Elmira Health Center, doubling the space of our health center in Hornell, and renovating and expanding our existing health center in Corning. And
tonight, we'll be focusing on our 4th and largest project, the construction of a brand new Ithaca Regional Health and Education Center. Ithaca is the single busiest Planned Parenthood center in all of upstate New York. But our current building is seriously outdated. Yes, it's a very unique, sweet, Victorian house. And you know, when I started working there in 1988, it wasn't that old, and already it was too small. And shortly after I started working there, they moved finance and development out. I tried not to take it personally. But there really and truly wasn't enough room. And that was back in the late 80s. It hasn't gotten better. If you haven't toured the health center, you'll learn a little bit more about its challenging tonight. But soon, these challenges will be history.
By now, many of you have seen the progress we are making on the new health center at 620 West Seneca Street. It's incredibly exciting to finally see steel rising from the ground. Be sure to take a look at the design boards in the lobby for a preview of this new regional health center, and read through the materials in your folders to learn more about all of our accomplishments to date and the great future ahead of us. We are so very grateful to all of you for being here tonight to celebrate. We have a very special evening in store for you, so please settle back and enjoy the show.
When I go to work each morning, there is always lots to do. I'm ready and I'm focused on the work I must get through. I'm eager to assist patients and keep up with the lively pace. But to this end, I require just a little space. When you're helping people, keeping them healthy, doing it every day, you want to keep it private, very confidential, get to patients right away. We've done our best for years with staff and volunteers, but now it's time to be fulfilled, 'cause now it's time to build. In case you haven't been to our center at 314 West State Street, we'll take you on a little tour. It's going to require imagination, but we know everyone here has imagination to spare. Imagine, if you will, our waiting room. Over there, patients are waiting in line to get prescriptions, test results, follow-up plans, stuff you might not like to talk about in public. And oh, the line's getting pretty long. Someone is squeezing through with a little kid who, yes, he needs the bathroom. She's at the window, she's got the key, they're back at the door, and they're in. Over here is where patients check in. It's an interesting puzzle of the acoustics of sound waves. On this side of the glass, you cannot hear anything being said on that side of the glass. And on that side of the glass, you can hear everything being said on this side of the glass. An acoustical conundrum.
I want to make an appointment.
Pick up the phone, then I can hear you. Imagine a phone.
Hello?
Now, she replies in a very understated tone. How can I help you? But what it comes out as is, how can I help you?
Well, I think I need an STD test.
And then she says, you need an STD test. Yes, of course, we can make that appointment. We can help. But what she and everyone else hears is, you need an STD test. Yes, of course, we can help. We can make that appointment. She wasn't thrilled. It's time to build. It takes a lot of people to manage all our programs and organize from A to Z. We store a lot of records, produce a lot of pamphlets, from kids to retirees. There's not an extra inch, so when we're in a pinch, we keep it cool and stay good-willed. But now it's time to build. Hey Tracy, didn't we once expand from 4 exam rooms to 5? we sure did. How did we do it?
Well, if you have 4 exam rooms, that means you have 3 walls dividing the space, right?
Right.
Well, if you just take down those 3 walls and put up 4 new ones, then voila! Where you used to have 4 exam rooms, you now have 5.
Hey, Tracy, what's the difference between a closet and an office?
A window!
Hey, Tracy, how many years has Planned Parenthood been talking about finding more space?
Too many!
It takes a lot of people with imagination and the drive to reach the top. We've got our group of people, what an inspiration, and we know you'll never stop. We're finally on our way to a great big opening day. We've set the goal to be fulfilled, and now it's time to build. Build a place for education. Build a place that all will use. Patient staff, administration. People find a place to choose. Women's health and space for training with a staff that's smart and skilled. We've got it all, we've heard the call, and now it's time to build. Yes, now it's time to build. Time to build.
Please welcome campaign leaders Katie Thompson and Ian Harrop.
Thank you for being here tonight as we kick off Planned Parenthood's fundraising campaign, A Time to Build. Tonight is a celebration of how far we've come, and it's an opportunity to say a great big thank you to our many supporters who have helped us get here. Please be sure to stop by in the lobby and check out the poster board for a list of all those donors who have made generous gifts to the campaign to date. On behalf of the Tompkins County Tri-Chairs, I'd especially like to thank our campaign committee for their incredible work over the past many months. They're so committed to seeing this dream become reality, and we really couldn't be here tonight celebrating this milestone if it weren't for them. While we've just had a little fun at the expense of the Ithaca Health Center, it's no joke. We're not kidding. Those challenges are real and not exaggerated. In Ithaca, the search for just the right property actually began over 20 years ago. Over the years, we considered many different options, but nothing seemed to really fit. It seemed like we might never find the right location. So when the Seneca Street property became available in 2006, we knew we had to act, and quickly. Planned Parenthood leadership and a small group of very dedicated volunteers worked together to raise almost $1 million in a very short amount of time. It was so gratifying to be part of that experience and to see our donors step up so generously and quickly. It wasn't like they had 3-year pledges. Since then, we've been busy. We're working with our incredibly talented architect, Grace Chang, to design an amazing new green facility that will finally give our clients the kind of health care that they deserve, and one that truly reflects the level of care and compassion that is the hallmark of Planned Parenthood of the Southern Finger Lakes. Thank you. Ian?
Good evening. It's always humbling and an honor to stand next to my dear Katie. And I actually stand in front of you here in honor of so many folks, and one of them, his lovely bride, is here, and I just want to say a big shout out to Polly. So Polly, and for all that Cy has done for Planned Parenthood of the Southern Finger Lakes and Southern Tier formerly, thank you. As Steve and Annie mentioned, this campaign is really an affiliate-wide effort to update all of our facilities to a more modern and professional level. It reflects a deep commitment by Planned Parenthood board members, staff members, and supporters to improve the quality of health centers across our four-county region. This phase of our fundraising campaign will help fund these projects in total: a new health care center in Hornell, which I'm thrilled to say opened about a year ago and is thriving. Renovations of our current Corning Health Center to transform it into a vibrant center for Planned Parenthood programming and advocacy efforts in that area, in an area that needs it, as well as long-term lease on what is now the Guthrie Cancer Center on Denison Parkway, to expand our health center operations in Corning, and a brand new 16,000 square foot building here in Ithaca, New York, that will combine our health center, education, and administrative operations. The projects are big, but we know the impact will be even bigger. And I'm pleased to announce we have set a very ambitious and fundraising goal of,
Drum roll.
I was waiting for the drum roll,
No drum roll.
$6.35 million to make all of these projects a reality. And now for a little bit more about the important work PPSFL does and why this campaign is so important to all of us. Thank you.
I just told her what I knew. It was a little clinical and some embarrassment, but she must have understood. I mean, I am a grandmother, so she does know something. I don't envy her. Her job of talking to her daughter, my granddaughter, she's a great kid, but already so grown up. I wouldn't know where to begin.
Where do I start? My mother gave me that standard, not so helpful, kind of vague birds and bees, facts of life talk. I'm not sure if she remembers, but it was kind of embarrassing for both of us. My daughter, she's got so much more to sort through every day. So much going on these days. So many images and messages about sex and the most awful gender stereotypes. And I'm not quite sure how it affects her, because she's just not talking to me the way she used to. I need her to be safe. I need her to know that her voice matters, because she's so smart and so amazing. She could have an incredible relationship one day, and even really great sex at some point. But just that thinking through when and how and being safe is so important. How do I tell her?
I wish you wouldn't worry about me so much. I mean, I do know stuff. And if I didn't, if I had questions, I guess I'd ask. But not everything I do or think about is really her business. Problem is, I'm not quite sure if everything that my friends say is right. I guess I do have some questions. Like, how does it work? Like, everything. And how do you know when it's okay? I guess now we're going to this thing at Planned Parenthood, My mom made us sign up. I guess they actually talk about stuff there. I hear they're working on a new building. Probably good, because, yeah, I have some questions. So, yeah. It's time to build.
Let's all welcome campaign leaders Jean Gortzig and Sandy True.
We extend our deepest gratitude to Rachel Lambert for producing tonight's program, and to our amazingly talented actors and performers. This evening, we have heard real stories from real people served by Planned Parenthood. The organization makes a difference in the lives of thousands of people in our region each and every year. This campaign will make a truly significant difference for a whole generation of people in need of our services. We have two exciting and important announcements tonight. The first is the amount we have raised to date. And I'm extraordinarily pleased and grateful to be able to report that thanks to the collective generosity of our community, we have raised $4.785 million. And as you heard Ian mention, that is a long way toward achieving that $6.35 million goal. There's no way to adequately thank all who have helped us reach this point. Sandy and Katie and I have been overwhelmed by the generosity we have witnessed from so many Planned Parenthood supporters in this campaign. Many are longtime friends, but we have also received incredibly impressive gifts from new friends who have helped to make this early success possible. And now, tonight, we acknowledge one family in particular for their generosity. And while they have been very modest about their support, we cannot let the evening go by without recognizing the McLafferty family. Those who know Tibby are aware that she, along with Fred, have been avid supporters throughout their lives. Not only has Tibby provided leadership in a number of ways and significant areas, board membership, devotion to the cause of international family planning, hosting events, bringing new people into the Planned Parenthood family, and raising significant funds, and much, much more. But she does the nitty-gritty, like rallies, like riding buses to Washington and marching, and most recently, she tabled at the Apple Harvest Festival. So tonight, we want to thank Tibby and her family, who have decided to celebrate Tibby's lifelong commitment by naming the new Ithaca Health Center in her honor.
have no idea. Who did this?
Thank you, Tibby and Fred and McClafferty children. You inspire us every day with your level of commitment to us. Thank you. Love you, baby. While we couldn't be more pleased with the progress we've made to date, we also know we have a little ways to go yet. So I do have another announcement tonight. We are delighted to share with you that we have a very generous couple in our community who want to remain anonymous, have pledged a $200,000 matching grant starting tonight. So for us, for a matching gift challenge. So anybody between now and February 14th, matching $1,000 to $25, dollar to dollar, you can double your impact. And I know from our time with all of you that we've all noticed how much people have felt so strongly about our mission, and that we all want to do the best that we can for this. And I hope you will join in our matching gift challenge, and let's put us over the top. We're so excited to be here, but let's get that final little push on. And there's more information in your packet. You can always talk to us, but it has been so heartwarming for Katie, Jean, and I to be a part of this campaign. We've drank lots of wine, lots of lunches, lots of suppers, but it's almost like it's a visceral reaction to the mission of Planned Parenthood. And I just want to stop time for just a minute here and to say thank you all so much, because we know what Planned Parenthood means to all of us, and this building will mean so much to everybody going forward, and it also is a stand for the people in the generations to come that will have the same kind of care that we all know that it gives. So thank you so much for all you do, and I hope you will join us in putting us over the top, and special to Tibby and Fred and the McClafferty family for making this possible. Now we have a brief video from Planned Parenthood Federation of America CEO Cecile Richards.
Hi everyone, I'm Cecile Richards, President of Planned Parenthood Federation of America, and I want to congratulate Joe Salmons and Planned Parenthood of the Southern Finger Lakes on the official launch of your Time to Build campaign. You couldn't have picked a better moment to take on this work. This is an historic moment for healthcare in our country. Thanks to the Affordable Care Act, millions of people are now eligible for health insurance under new, more affordable plans. And Planned Parenthood is doing everything we can to spread the word and get folks enrolled. We have an incredible opportunity to reach more people than ever with quality, affordable healthcare through Planned Parenthood in your community and across the country. For more than 40 years, you've been there for women, men, and young people in the Southern Finger Lakes region, no matter what. And now, your work to improve and build health and education centers that live up to the care you provide sends a strong message that even in one of the toughest political climates we've ever seen, Planned Parenthood is committed to being there for the people who need us most. You've made tremendous progress in just the first few months of this campaign, and I want to thank everyone who's already pitched in. There's still a long road ahead, but if the incredible outpouring of support you've received so far is any indication, I know you can meet your goal. Thank you for supporting this important campaign and for everything you do to make Planned Parenthood this country's leading women's healthcare provider and advocate.
I was really stressed. I was starting a new relationship. She was really terrific. We met by chance at a concert, and, well, let's just say there was definitely chemistry, and I wanted to take it slow, because, well, chemistry. And then, what the? I see and feel something. Panic. Herpes? Oh my God! I mean, oh Oh my God! Then I do what everyone would do. I go to the internet. I read the symptoms. Do I have them? Maybe not. Of course I do. Oh my God! Do I break it off with her? No, we hadn't been intimate yet. What do I do? The internet. Will I now be dating only women who have herpes? Will I be able to find someone who knows how to live with this? More panic, more internet searching, no help. What's a guy to do? What do I need? Advice, a diagnosis, a plan, a shoulder to cry on, and then it dawns on me. I need Planned Parenthood. I thought of wearing a disguise when I went in. I spoke as quietly as I could, but we all know that doesn't work. When I got in the consultation room, I blurted out my story, and then I held my breath through the exam. The clinician looked me in the eye. Still, barely breathing, I said, "Is it?" "No," spoken in a calming tone. "Here is something topical to use. Should be better in a week. It's an ingrown pubic hair." I have learned a few things from this. Do not diagnose yourself on the internet. Don't be afraid to get help. And when you are at a concert and someone catches your eye, say something. I did. We're a couple. And absolutely, for us and Planned Parenthood, it's a time to build.
My life turned upside down. My senior year of college, when I got pregnant, it was complicated. I knew it wasn't the right time for me. I knew I'd have to go it alone. And I just wasn't ready. This was just after Roe v. Wade. If it had been a couple of months earlier, I wouldn't have had any choice. I'm living the life I live now because I had the right to choose. They say that timing is everything. The right time, the right place, a time for everything. And now, it's time to build.
You know, the Planned Parenthood here locally has had my support ever since I got here, but my relationship with Planned Parenthood goes back well before that. You know, my mother had to raise 3 boys, and which was a challenge in a lot of ways, but especially when we came of age, she was worried about our sexual health. And the place that she turned to, especially because we didn't have a lot of money and they were able to service us on a sliding scale, was Planned Parenthood.
It's because there's so many wonderful and caring people, and just seeing the commitment they have to the important work they do in providing critical health care.
I feel like it's one of the most important organizations in town and the country to be involved in.
I've watched that commitment. I've seen that commitment, just solid, always there, providing compassionate and very professional care in our communities.
Not just a range of services, because that's important. They provide services that are hard to reach for a lot of people, but the range of people that they serve, from very young people and teenagers to young adults, all up to families and seniors, you know, and just as importantly, they serve people who can't afford to find service elsewhere.
Compassionate health care to anybody, I think, is key. And that's anybody.
the clinic is overcrowded, and you're well aware of that when you go in as a patient. And I think it's so exciting that they're getting a new facility with room.
It makes people feel good. I think it makes them feel valued, and that's really important.
You know, the expansion of services, the better work environment for the people who serve us in Planned Parenthood, and the chance for the visitors and the patients, the folks who rely on Planned Parenthood to use their services in a discreet way is exciting to me.
This choice of building a wonderful new facility, a beautiful facility, a state-of-the-art facility in our community says volumes about our valuing women, young men as well, and valuing the services that Planned Parenthood provides.
I think it's going to hopefully expand their client base, because I know lots of women who just don't think of going to Planned Parenthood for their annual exams. And I've been going since being a Cornell student. And I think with the new, modern facility, people will think of going there.
That kind of access can give, especially young people, access to a life that is healthy and productive and fulfilling. And that's, what else are we trying to do here with that?
I can't believe we're still fighting for the rights, reproductive rights, after all these years.
Women's reproductive rights in general are very important to me as a woman, as a mother, as a grandmother of girls.
I'm closer than anyone in the world. I'm close to my sister. And I was raised by my mother. And, I care so much about their emotional and their physical health. And nationally, we see this war against choice. To me, this campaign is a chance to join that war on the side of what's right. A chance to stick up for my sister and to stick up for my mother and to say, their choice matters.
It's just crucial, I think, that those kind of supportive professional services are here. It creates a kind of sense of security and a sense that we're living in a realistic, reality-based, and compassionate community.
In this ongoing debate, there's not any room on the sidelines. To sit it out is to take a side. And I encourage everybody to, in any way possible, support Planned Parenthood, because to sit silently and to sit on your hands is to side with those who would take away, our mothers and our sisters, our aunts and our grandparents, our rights.
It's a time to build.
It's a time to build.
It's a time to build.
I stand.
I stand.
I stand.
And I stand with Planned Parenthood.
Everyone, please welcome Planned Parenthood CEO Joe Salmons.
This is more than just buildings. The music you've seen here tonight, the stories, the thread that connects the work on this stage with the amazing hearts in this audience is a very powerful but a very simple idea. The idea that sexual rights are human rights. Let me say that one more time. Sexual rights are human rights. And the truth is that the quality of our sexual health and our reproductive health has a profound impact on the quality of our lives, on the choices we make about when and whether to have children, who and how to love, to have an education, to further your career. Many of us might be sitting in this audience tonight thinking about our own personal journeys. the memories and the stories, the care and the information that perhaps we had access to when we needed it the most, and that we are so grateful for. And some of us might be thinking of the care or the information that we wish we had access to when we needed it the most. For nearly 100 years, Planned Parenthood has been there, providing exceptional services, honest education, and fearless advocacy so that we can live the lives we aspire to, the lives we dream about. That's the idea. That's the thread that connects us all here tonight. But as Cecile said, right now we are witnessing an incredible assault on Planned Parenthood, on the ideas of sexual health and reproductive freedom that we have worked so hard to achieve. In the last 12 months, 42 states have passed laws to restrict a woman's access to safe, legal abortion. 42 states. Some of them as early as 6 weeks without any exceptions for the health and safety of the mother or for victims of rape or incest. This last year, we have witnessed states after states incredibly passing legislation that would allow employers to deny women access to birth control that 98% of women use. And this summer, we watched as Texas and North Carolina rammed legislation through in the middle of the night that would close virtually every abortion center in their states. The sad and tragic fact is that in states and communities all across this country, women have less access to vital reproductive health services. They have fewer rights than they had 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And our opponents want that to be the case in every state and in every community across this country. But we say, not here. Not now. Not ever. Our opponents want Planned Parenthood to roll back its services, to close its health centers. But we are not about to let this combination of money and misguided morality and midnight maneuvering in state capitals end decades of progress that we have worked so hard to achieve. Not at all. You know, there are people who are outraged all across this country, and they're standing up with one firm voice and they're saying, wait a minute, this is my Planned Parenthood. This is my body. Those are my dreams, and you can't take them away. Not here, not now, and not ever. For 40 years, the staff at Planned Parenthood of Southern Lakes had been providing amazing services in our health center, seeing tens of thousands of patients, many without a steady income or insurance. And we treat them all with compassion, and we treat them all with care. Our education and community programs have made a lasting impact over the years, combating the shame and the stigma that promotes fear and ignorance and replacing it with a positive, healthy message about sex and sexuality. We know that this is a time to defend that work from our opponents. But we also know that this is a time for us to build a positive future so that we can do that work for many years to come, regardless of the political attacks or the uncertain economy that we face. And we know that the time to do that work is now. In 1980, we opened the doors on our health center at 314 West State Street, and we saw 3,000 visits that year. Last year, that same health center saw 13,500 visits. Our health centers in Corning, New York, and Ithaca have more than 30 years of wear and tear on them. And to be quite frank, they don't reflect on the outside the quality of care and the respect for our patients that we provide every single day on the inside. And you know what? They should. They should. This is a time to build professional, welcoming health centers that show how proud we are to be Planned Parenthood, that'll broaden our mix of patients to include the insured and the uninsured, patients of all ages who are coming seeking the compassionate care, the expert health care that only Planned Parenthood can provide. This is our time to build education, to build knowledge, We plan to integrate those health services with our award-winning community education programs so that we can have spaces all across this region where, here at least, there's no shame. Here, there's no stigma. And we know it's time for us to build sustainability. These attacks on Planned Parenthood and the swirling changes in healthcare have underscored how critical it is for us to take our future into our own hands, to build green buildings, to reduce our overhead costs, consolidate office space, and reduce our reliance on government grants. We know that we can build an agency that can survive and thrive regardless of the challenges that we face. And that's the vision that we see. That's the future we're building towards. And as you've heard tonight, we've started building that now. A year ago, we opened our first new health center in 30 years in Hornell, New York. And that health center today is seeing 20% more visits than it did before we built it. We are now in construction in Ithaca, New York, on a 16,000 square foot health and education center that will realize our dreams, a 2-decade-long dream of the kind of health center that reflects how important this community feels about Planned Parenthood. And we will be in that building this coming spring. Yeah. Yeah. And 1 year from now, we will be putting the finishing touches on our new 8,000 square foot health center in Corning, New York, that will be the pride of that region, the home of Margaret Sanger. And we are very excited about it. All of these 3 projects are going to cost the agency more than $8 million, which is why we've set the fundraising goal that you heard tonight of $6.35 million. It is a high goal, that's for sure. But we also know the stakes are higher. We know that this is a time for us to move forward, not backward. This is a time for us to build strength and resolve in the face of unbelievable challenges and, as Cecile pointed out, great opportunity. And we also know that there are 2 words that have come to define the family of Planned Parenthood: the board, the staff, the hardworking volunteers, and the generous donors. And those 2 words are courage and generosity. 4 years ago, we faced the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We have sustained 3 years of continuous assault on Planned Parenthood, and right now, our heads are swirling with massive changes in healthcare. But through it all, our family, our friends, have stood very strong and have shown the courage and generosity that has defined Planned Parenthood for so many years. It is incredible to hear the news that we heard earlier tonight, that more than 74% of our campaign goal, an astounding $4.74 million, has been raised in the last 16 months. It's an incredible number, really. Don't do that. And I'd like to just give a very warm Planned Parenthood thank you to our incredible Capital Campaign Committee, to the hardworking staff and volunteers, and to every donor whose incredible gift has quite literally transformed our dreams into reality. Thank you all so very much for what they've done. But this is a large campaign, and we do have a long way to go. But the amazing thing is this: we aren't here tonight just to build buildings. We aren't here tonight just to kick off a capital campaign. We are here tonight for an idea. The idea that sexual rights are human rights, and that an assault on reproductive freedom anywhere is an assault on real people everywhere. Our opponents might try to dial the clock back to the 1950s, and they may win some headlines in the process, but they can never win the hearts of those who care, those who know that real people live real lives and they make real decisions, people who know that politicians don't have any business being in our exam rooms, and they certainly don't have any business being in our bedrooms. Our future is not a future based on fear, and it isn't a future based on shame or stigma. Our future is a future based on hope, on a positive, powerful, taking charge of our lives. But we understand that that future is not going to create itself. We understand that that future is created with courage, and it's created with generosity. And so tonight, while we're here to celebrate the incredible success we've had so far, and certainly want to talk to you and ask you for your generous support of our campaign, because we won't be successful without it. More than that, though, we also need your courage. We need your voice. As Svante said, there is no room on the sideline. We need you to share with your colleagues, with your family, with your friends, how important this work is, how important the work of Planned Parenthood is, and how important this idea is. To broaden the circle so that we can have a whole new family, a larger family of people committed to this work. When you do that, you will become a personal ambassador to this campaign that will magnify whatever contribution you give 10 times over. And perhaps more importantly than that, it'll magnify your impact 10 times over. The impact you'll have on the thousands of patients that we serve every day in our health centers, the thousands of people we see in the schools, in the community programs that are so important to us. Because at the end of the day, it is those thousands of people that Planned Parenthood serves who are not in this room tonight, but who are most definitely the reason we are in this room tonight. And so I'd like to conclude, actually, a couple of weeks ago, a letter came across my desk by a patient in one of our health centers in Elmira, New York, just about a month ago. A short letter that I think summarizes really well why we are here tonight. And the letter reads, "To all at the Planned Parenthood office, I wanted to write and thank you for all your hard work and your kindness. It has been a very difficult year for me, and each and every one of you has been amazing to me. Recently, I had an awful reaction to a medication, and on one of your busiest days, I received the best service. 2 return phone calls that were extremely prompt, and a new medication was sent to the pharmacy within hours. I cannot imagine how long and difficult your days are there, but you could never tell by your fabulous treatment of your patients. I hope one day, when I can give back, that I can help others more easily access the services that you all give. In the meantime, thank you for all you do, and God bless." Yeah. This isn't just about buildings or a political battle. This is our time to give back. This is our time to give forward, really, for this patient and for the thousands of patients like her whose care, whose lives, whose dreams really are at stake. We know what kind of world this patient deserves. We know what kind of world we want for ourselves, for this generation, and for generations to come. That's why this is our time to build it. Thank you.
It's a really tough act to follow. This has been a tremendous evening. My name is Alicia Canale, and I'm the Vice President of Development at Planned Parenthood. Thank you so much to all the performers, to Rachel Lampert, to Adam Zonder, and to our event committee, everybody who's made tonight so special. Let's have another round of applause for them. It's my pleasure to conclude this evening's program. I hope you'll join us for more food and drinks in the lobby. And if you haven't done so already, please jot down a hope, a dream, or a wish for Planned Parenthood's time capsule, which is located near the registration table. If you have any questions about the campaign or would like to make a gift, I'll be in the lobby, as will the whole development team and our campaign leadership. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have. You also have a full suite of campaign materials in your folder, as well as a thumb drive preloaded with the same materials. Thank you so much again for celebrating with us this evening. We are grateful for your spirit and your support. Thank you.